Hi everyone, my name is Anna and I'm one of the coaches in Nobel coaching. I'm here to talk to you today about where do bad grades come from. When the report card comes in and you see the bad grades, as parents, you probably have that alarm that goes off that starts awaking the questions such as, what's happening with my kid? Why isn't he studying? And as a parent, you'll try to find the most logical reasons for why that's happening, and you'll try to help your kid the best way you can. But what sometimes happens is that no matter how hard you're trying to help your kid, the changes just aren't happening. And that's usually the point where you contact professionals or the service such as ours. You'll notice that once you present the problems to the professionals, they won't be so quick to tell you what's going on with your kid. And the reason is simple. We need to get to know your kid a bit better. And why is that? Only when we know your kid a bit better can we actually say whether your kid can't or doesn't want to study. And the line between those two is thinner than you might think, because when we feel that we lack the abilities, we'll decide not to study. If we do not want to study, we might often think that we actually can't because it's too hard for us. So what do professionals look into? Their job, our job, is to look into both capabilities and motivation. As I previously said, those two are intertwined. So especially with younger students, it's very important to make sure that there is no objective difficulty underpinning the problem. Some type of sensory deficit that might not be so obvious. We'll probably explore the potential symptoms of learning difficulties such as dyslexia, dyscalculia, or dysgraphia, because those simple skills such as reading, writing, or adding and subtracting numbers can be a huge challenge for otherwise really bright kids. And if we don't understand the symptoms well, if we don't detect and interpret the signs well at the right time, we might be tempted to call those kids lazy or not as bright as we thought they were, which is the injustice we must not make to the kids we work with. We'll also assess attention and we'll assess memory. We'll not do that as coaches by applying psychological testing, but what we can is we can notice the symptoms, we can notice the signs, and tell you to contact a psychologist or a doctor to make sure that your kid gets the right help. But if we see that all of the abilities are there and that the student lacks motivation, that's the real test for a coach. When we say that the student is lacking motivation, all that we are saying is that the student is not directing their mental and physical energy to where we would like them to be directing energy. And what that tells us is that they have the reasons for which they do not want to study, for which it's easier for them not to study, for which not studying has its benefits. And that's something that we need to understand. Even as adults, let's look at ourselves before we look at our students. We know why we're not doing certain things, right? We know why we're not doing the things that we are supposed to. And we have our own reasons. Sometimes those reasons make sense to other people, sometimes they do not. Sometimes we do know the reasons, but it's hard to verbalize them. But we know why we are hesitant to start going to gym, or to start eating healthier, or to read a new book, or to start a new course, or to tell our boss what we think. The same goes for our kids. They have their reasons, they just need the help to express them, to verbalize them, and to get the understanding for them. So to understand why everything before hasn't worked, and to understand what will work for our students, you need to understand the purpose of avoiding to study, the function of getting bad grades, the benefits of choosing to play games rather than study. And we do not suppose that we know the answers. We do not preempt those answers into just he's lazy or that's the easy way out for him. But we truly listen to the meaning of what the student is doing. Once you really understand the choices the student makes, you're then really able to help them out. That is why so often we call coaching the process of unlocking motivation. It's because the process leads us to better understanding of what the student is doing and how it feels for them to have the attention problem, or to be considered lazy, or to get poor grades, or to have mom and dad work on homeworks with them every single day. Understanding means having a chance to unlock the door that stands between the student and us as coaches, and only when we are on the same side, seeing the same problems from a same viewpoint, we're truly able to help, and that's what we are there to do. Each question we ask has a purpose. Coaching is a structured process that aims to help the student with the problems as a student sees them, and to really address those issues that when resolved will help student function in life as best as possible. So the question, where do bad grades come from? The reasons can be many, and any attempt to generalize them might lead into failure. But however, that is a path worth exploring. So to learn more about the potential reasons, make sure you read our article about where do bad grades come from on our website. And if you have any questions for me or our coaches, just make sure you leave the comment above the video, under the video, sorry. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you soon.